Students, myself Dr. Harpreet Kaur from Khalsa College, Patiala. Today I'm going to discuss with you about the kitchen gardening. Now, we all know that vegetable plays a very important role in our daily life, and particularly for the vegetarian peoples, they are also the only source to increase not only the nutritive value of food but also its palatability. The food from the kitchen garden is organic and healthier as compared to that which is brought from the grocery store. For a balanced diet, an adult should have an intake of 85 grams of fruits and 300 grams of vegetables per day, as per the dietary recommendations of the nutrition specialists. Now, what is kitchen garden? Kitchen garden is growing of fruits and vegetables at the backyard of our house by using kitchen wastewater. It is also called as a home garden, nutrition garden, or vegetable garden. Now, advantages of kitchen garden is that the fresh fruits and vegetables can be supplied throughout the year, which have a high nutritive value and they are free from the toxic chemical, and also it cuts our expenditure on the purchase of vegetables from market. Vegetables harvested from our home garden, they are better in taste and as compared to purchased from the market, and also they save our kitchen waste water and kitchen waste material, which can be utilized effectively. Kitchen gardening is a super hobby also because it has a many physical and physiological health benefits. Now, fruit plants can also be planted in our kitchen garden, such as papaya and pomegranate, and citrus species such as kinu, oranges, lemons, etc. Now, we can also plant our vegetables in bags and sacks so they can be easily placed in areas wherever possible. Plants can also be grown on the raised beds, and because the raised beds they save your time. If we can maintain a 30 by 30 foot garden planted in the beds from the mid May to mid October, we can harvest 1900 pounds of fresh vegetables. So, the year's supply of food for the three peoples from about three total days of work. This is the example, or this is the picture where the vegetables are grown on the raised beds. Plants can also be raised on the fences, which are called as the climbing plants. That is growing vegetables vertically, which saves our space, time, and money. And it also minimizes pest and diseases attack. Most of the vegetables can be trained on our fences, such as cucumber, beans, peas, tomato, melon, pumpkins, etc. This shows that peas can be planted on the fences. Now, for site selection, our kitchen garden should preferably on the backyard of our house or our terrace of the house. But the open areas should have a plenty of sunlight. Nearly about 6 to 8 hours sunlight is required in that particular area, and the water source should also be near to our kitchen garden. Regarding the size and shape of vegetable garden, it depends upon availability of land, number of persons in the family, and spare time available for its care. It has been estimated that nearly about 200 square meter area is sufficient to provide the vegetables throughout the year for a family consisting of five members. So this picture shows that these vegetables are trained on bamboos, which are placed in our backyard of our house or on the terrace of our house. Now, for layout of vegetable kitchen garden, fences on all sides should be trained with cucurbitaceous vegetables. Cucurbitaceous vegetables such as bottle gourd, bitter gourd, and snake gourd. Some of the perennial crops such as mangoes, potta, acid lime, amla, they should be planted at the peripheral areas of kitchen garden. Some of the vegetables are direct sown. For example, amaranthus bottle gourd, bitter gourd, and snake gourd. And some vegetables are nursery transplanted, such as tomato, brinjal, chilies, and onion. Fertility and the texture of the soil may be maintained by applying adequate quantities of organic manure frequently. One or two compost pits can be provided on one corner of our kitchen garden. Ridges and furrows they are formed in each plot. Avoid spraying of toxic chemicals and divide the area of kitchen garden into equal sized plots for raising annual vegetable crops. So this is the layout of kitchen garden, which is recommended by Punjab Agriculture University, in which most of our annual, biennial, and perennial vegetables can be accommodated in a rectangular shape of kitchen garden. Now, the crops which are suitable for kitchen gardening, for example, fruits, mango, banana, spota, guava, papaya, amla, pomegranate, and date palm. And almost all of the vegetables can be accommodated in our kitchen garden, such as tomato, brinjal, chili, onion, bitter gourd, snake gourd, bottle gourd, amaranthus, beetroot, curry leaves, cluster beans, cowpeas, etc. Most of the spices and medicinal plants can also be planted in our kitchen gardens, such as turmeric, coriander, fenugreek, aloe vera, basil, tulsi, ashwagandha, then mint, etc. Flowers can be planted in kitchen garden because of their importance as a landscaping, and also some of the pollinators they do visit the flowers for on the flowers so that the pollination process can be completed properly. Some of the flowers such as rose, jasmine, nerium can be planted around the boundary of our kitchen garden. Some of the trees, such as bottle brush, canary, and pagoda tree, can also be planted if the space is available in kitchen garden. Now, methods of planting. Some of the crops they require a particular spacing for their full growth. For example, tomato, brinjal, and chilies requires a 60 by 60 centimeter area for their growth. Bitter gourd require 2 by 2 meter area, whereas onion requires 15 by 10 centimeter area. Initially, irrigate the plots and then transplant the seedlings at the required spacing, and then after irrigate on the third day of planting. Direct planting seeds can be doubled, for example, 2 to 3 seeds per hill, and then irrigate immediately, and also irrigate on the third day of sowing after germination. Now, for maintenance of kitchen garden, grow only those plants which can be trained on the fences so that the area or the space can be utilized properly. Dump all the kitchen waste in the manure pits and maintain in a wet condition. And irrigation is required as and when necessary. Now, apply only decomposed kitchen waste to all the crops, and weeding can be done as and when required. Now, most of the vegetables can be planted in containers, such as beans, beet, chilies, pepper, lettuce, onion, radish, sweet peppers, tomatoes, etc. So, this picture shows that most of the vegetables can be grown in containers or in pots. And these are some more examples of vegetables and fruits which can be accommodated in pots. Now, methods of planting also include harvesting of that particular vegetable. When there is a color change from green to yellow or orange, and then only harvesting is done. And the main goal of harvesting is to gather a commodity from the field at the proper level of maturity with a minimum damage and loss. And this can be achieved through hand harvesting in most of the fruits and vegetables and flowering crops. For example, radish and carrot, they are harvested when they are large enough and crispy. Potato, onion, and garlics are harvested when their tops beginning to dry and topple down. Beans and ginger are harvested when their size become large. Cowpeas, snap beans, sweet peas, winged beans, they can be harvested when their pods they are well filled. And okra is harvested when there is a desirable size and shape. And snake gourd can be harvested when there is a desirable size. And thumbnail can still penetrate the fresh flesh readily. Eggplants, bitter gourd, slicing cucumbers are harvested when they have a desirable size reached but still tender. Tomatoes, when the seeds slipping when the fruit is cut, or when the green color turn into pink color, then tomatoes are harvested. In case of muskmelon, when they are easily separated from the vine with a slight twist, then the muskmelons are harvested. And watermelons, they can be harvested when there is a dull hollow sound when they are thumpened. Cauliflower is harvested when the curd become compact, and broccoli can be harvested when their bud cluster become compact. Now, in case of plant protection, only organic methods of spraying are recommended in our kitchen gardens, such as neem oil, neem seed kernel extract, or panchgavya. And in other case, we can pick and destroy the larva found on the fruits and vegetables, and then spray the organic chemicals. Avoid spraying of toxic chemicals, because we all know that the vegetables which are harvested directly from kitchen garden, we can cook and we can even consume raw, so the toxic chemicals can be avoided. Now, there are many economic benefits of kitchen gardening. That is, that gardeners feed their families first and then sell. Income generation may become the primary objective of home garden. Gardening also gives a dual benefit of food and income generation. Gardens provide fodder for the household animals and supplies for other household needs. Marketing of the garden produce and animals is often the only source of independent income for the woman. So, this is all about the kitchen garden. Thank you so much.